Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys the Series anime video. In this video I want to talk about Cynthia vs Ash, since a special preview for this battle aired alongside episode 121. So I want to talk about said preview in this video. Now before I get to the preview, I do want to mention that I did make a video on the semifinals about 2 weeks ago. In said video, I talked about all the information that was known about the semifinals at the time, and I provided my thoughts on said information while also making predictions based on said information. I will leave a link to that video in the description below and at the end of this video you are watching right now, so that you can go watch that video as well if you haven't already. Since I already made a video talking about the semifinals, I do not want it to cover the same things in this video. Instead, I will focus on what the special preview for Cynthia vs Ash reveals or confirms. So first, the preview reveals that after this tournament, Cynthia will retire from battles. She reveals this to Diantha, who is shocked. Now this revelation broke my heart and it made me feel very sad. Because Cynthia is still young, she is still very strong, very smart, very capable, and she is still the champion of Sinnoh. She still has a long and fruitful career in front of her, and she still has plenty of time to accomplish so much more. I think that it is far too early for her to retire from battling, and it is such a waste. Now of course the fact that she will retire from battles does not mean that Cynthia will be gone for good. It's not like we won't see her again. It's not like she will never get to appear in the anime again. But it does mean that we will likely never get to see her battle again, which is way too depressing. Now her reason for retiring is not revealed in the preview, but considering that she is, like I said, very young still, the reason has to be either health related, which is hopefully not the case, or she found something else that she wants to dedicate her life to. Since she does love her research, I could see her deciding to focus entirely on the pursuit of knowledge. Alternatively, since the preview for episode 122 shows her training with Ash, or rather teaching Ash, I could see Cynthia becoming a teacher that guides novice trainers. After all, what better teacher than a former champion? The reason why I think that Cynthia could become a teacher is that in the preview for episode 122, she is seen wearing a casual outfit and a ponytail, which look great on her. My first thought here was that Cynthia looks like a PE teacher. This preview also shows kids that appear during the training. I think that Cynthia might see these kids being very interested in Pokemon and battles. This might inspire Cynthia to nurture kids like these. There is also the fact that Cynthia already has experience teaching others, since Iris learned so much from Cynthia. So yeah, I could see Cynthia as a teacher, but we will have to wait to learn her true reason for retiring. Before moving on to the next point, I do want to mention that since Cynthia will retire from battles after this tournament, her final battle will be against Ash, since Ash will very likely win, which also means that Cynthia's final battle will be a loss, perhaps even her first loss, meaning that she will retire without being unbeatable. This also means that Ash will be not just the first person to defeat Cynthia on screen, and perhaps the first person to defeat Cynthia period, but he will also remain the only person to ever defeat Cynthia. What an honor. Next, the preview confirms that the battle will indeed be 6-on-6, and it does reveal which Pokemon each trainer will use. Ash will of course use his entire Pokemon Journeys team as expected. And Cynthia will use Garchomp, Gastrodon, Milotic, and Roserade as expected. However, she will also use Spiritomb and Togekiss, which are new Pokemon for Cynthia in the anime, though she does use them in the games. So Cynthia will not use Kommo-o or Glaceon. It is worth noting that she is basically using her Diamond and Pearl team, with Lucario being replaced by Togekiss, or her Platinum team, with Lucario being replaced by Gastrodon. Lucario is of course replaced because Ash has a Lucario. I have to say that it's fitting that in her final battle, Cynthia will use the team she uses in her generation, where she is the champion. Next, the preview reveals that Ash will have a tough time against Cynthia, which is to be expected. Throughout the preview, we mostly see Ash and his Pokemon struggling. Spiritomb uses Hypnosis to put Dragonite to sleep, and then Spiritomb hits Dragonite with a move that creates a pink cloud of smoke. Things look dire for Dragonite here, so I guess that Dragonite will not get redemption in this battle. Instead, its losing streak will continue. Gengar is then seen falling over, perhaps in defeat. Dracovish is then seen being poison jabbed by Roserade, though Dracovish is also seen landing a Dragon Rush on Roserade, so Dracovish will fight back. Pikachu is seen missing a Thunderbolt on Togekiss, who then lands a clean hit on Pikachu. Sirfetch''s Brutal Swing is seen being deflected by Milotic's Hydro Pump, though Sirfetch and Milotic are then seen charging each other, so Sirfetch will also put up a fight. Lucario is seen pummeling a Togekiss, and Garchomp is seen using what appears to be Stone Edge against an unseen opponent, but said opponent is Lucario. So these snippets of the Pokemon battling do reveal who will battle who and who will struggle the most. In general, it's clear that Ash will have a tough time in this battle, especially since he is heard saying in the preview that Cynthia is too strong, and he is seen making this face, which just screams, "I am in trouble." Now, I do want to point out that the screen of the stadium is shown several times in the preview, and it does reveal how the battle will go. First, this shot here shows that Dragonite and Gengar will go down first from Ash's side, while Gastrodon will go down first from Cynthia's side. It's clear that Ash is at a disadvantage here since he lost both Dragonite and Gengar, while Cynthia only lost Gastrodon. Since in the preview Dragonite and Spiritomb are seen battling and Dragonite is seen struggling in this battle, I assume that Dragonite will be defeated by Spiritomb. It also appears that Dragonite and Spiritomb are the first two Pokemon to battle, given their placement. After losing Dragonite, Ash will use Gengar next, and Cynthia will seemingly switch to Roserade and then to Togekiss, who will likely defeat Gengar. Ash will then use Pikachu, who is seen facing Togekiss in the preview. Pikachu has the type advantage here, so it's a smart play. Cynthia will then switch to Gastrodon since it has the type advantage over Pikachu, but Pikachu will defeat Gastrodon despite this. Cynthia will then switch back to Spiritomb since this shot of the screen is not static, it does change. Pikachu and the Spiritomb are both blacked out, meaning that they will knock each other out. So Dragonite and Gengar will not defeat an opponent. Pikachu will defeat the two opponents. Ash will be at a disadvantage since he will be down 3 Pokemon when Cynthia is down 2 Pokemon, and Dracovish, Sirfetch'd, and Lucario will have to pick up the slack. Dracovish is seen facing Roserade and Sirfetch'd is seen facing Milotic. It's likely that Dracovish and the Sirfetch'd will win these battles. Lucario is seen facing a Togekiss, and when Garchomp is seen using a Stone Edge, the screen shows that Ash is down to just Lucario, which is why I said before that Garchomp's unseen opponent is Lucario. So Lucario will take down both Togekiss and Garchomp, and as expected, the final showdown will indeed be Lucario versus Garchomp, and the two of them will surely Mega Evolve. This shot of the screen behind Garchomp also reveals that Ash will use Dracovish as his 4th Pokemon. He will use Sirfetch'd as his 5th Pokemon, and he will use Lucario as his last Pokemon. So that's the rundown of the battle as predicted by me using the helpful scoreboard in the preview. I do hate that Dragonite will once again lose without defeating an opponent, and it is a shame that Gengar will also lose without scoring a win. But considering how much work Gengar has put in recently, including in the battle against Steven, this is forgivable. At least, Dracovish and the Sirfetch'd will get to shine, while Pikachu will continue to show his immense power, which tends to happen in tournaments like this, and Lucario will of course come through as expected. So yeah, that's pretty much everything the preview revealed. I do want to additionally mention things that are said in the preview. First, Cynthia says that this battle will galvanize her, and she also exclaims that she has longed for a Pokemon battle like this. So thankfully, her final battle will be one that she loves. Next, Ash says that he will defeat Cynthia and that when he does, he will get even stronger. Additionally, the captions of the preview say that this is a battle that Ash has dreamed of and that in order to stand upon the final stage, this is a battle Ash cannot lose. All of this points to the fact that Ash will win, which again is what I expected. Finally, the preview shows that Ash's old Pokemon, Professor Oak, Ash's mother, and Tracy will also watch this battle. Leon and Diantha will also watch the battle, and Cinderace will join Go, Grookey, Hop, and Wooloo in watching the battle. While it was of course expected that all these characters except for Cinderace would watch the battle, it is still nice to see that this will indeed be the case. I do want to mention one final thing, which is that in the preview Cynthia says, "Let's heat things up even more," and the Dynamax music is heard. I doubt that Cynthia will use Dynamax, but I did find this curious, so I decided to mention it. Now before I end the video, I do want to mention that I also made a video on the preview for episode 122, and the link to said video will be in the description below and at the end of this video, so that you can go watch that video as well. But that's everything I have for you in this video. I seriously hope that Cynthia vs Ash will be an amazing battle that goes down in history as one of the absolute best battles the Pokemon anime has ever seen. But unfortunately, my hopes are not too high. Cynthia vs Ash will likely begin in episode 123, which will air on September 2, and the battle will likely continue in episode 124, which will air on September 9. I will of course upload video reviews for both of these episodes as soon as possible once they have aired, so please look forward to my reviews. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.